Trust me, you couldn't have found a bigger cynic than me when it came to aliens.
Former intelligence officials have been raising eyebrows.
But even I was stumped when I heard from high-ranking officials from the government and the Pentagon that aliens do exist.
They can accelerate very quickly, and they can move at hypersonic speeds without any kind of exhaust.
Not only that, but these officials had a lot more dark secrets to share, and I can't wait to tell them all to you. So stay tuned till the end if you want to know all about it. Number 25, alien implants. Meet Luis Elizondo, the ex-Pentagon official who is adamant that there is a lot more going on inside the Pentagon than just UFOs. He claims that he saw an intelligent implant with his 2 eyes inside a secret government facility. If that's shocking, wait till you hear how he describes this weird implant. Apparently, the man saw a doctor and a physician from the US military take out an alien-like implant from a biological capsule. This weird piece of technology was so smart that it was spotted moving on the table and trying to avoid being captured. He didn't stop there. Oh no, he had a lot more secrets to spill. In another interview, the intelligence officer claims that he saw an alien writing on a UFO.
I am not familiar with this actual one, but
you are familiar with
absolutely,
there being symbols on the outside of the craft.
Yeah, which, by the way, is significant. That means something.
You're telling me that the one thing that we've all desperately tried to hunt for might be true. Aliens have actually sent a real message to humans. At least, that's what this guy is saying. He claims that he saw many vehicles with weird symbols and glyphs engraved on the UFO. More than one alien message. The Pentagon couldn't figure out what the aliens were trying to say, but they are sure that the message came from extraterrestrial beings. Who knows? Maybe the Pentagon did crack the code and the officer isn't telling us. What do you think? Isn't he always coming up with the most bizarre of news? Check out this next clip. Here is the officer telling the host that aliens are not here to play around. He thinks that the aliens have a motive that is much more sinister than you and I can even understand. Elizondo claims that the aliens could very well stop the US from building fancy high-tech weapons, but they are choosing to just stand by and watch it all unfold. Why? Because of their seemingly dark and criminal nature. Here, I was skeptical about the UFOs, and then I heard something like this on the internet. What do you even make of this? Do you think he is lying? Number 24, straight from the Pentagon. You know things have gotten serious when the Pentagon posts a video of the UFOs on the internet. Yes, an official post from the Pentagon about unidentified flying objects. How rare is that? But there was someone more surprised than me in this whole scenario, and that's the military officers in the clip.
What do you think it is?
I honestly don't know. I don't think that we have developed that technology. I don't think we developed it on this planet.
There were a total of 3 videos released, but not a single person could identify the bizarre flying objects in the sky. Some of them were rotating, others were zipping across the sky, but all of them left the military officers to question their entire careers. Do you think there are aliens sitting inside the UFOs, or is the Pentagon just trying to play with our emotions? Number 23, the round object. Okay, this one is pretty interesting, and personally, my favorite. This video was shown in the UAP hearing in a court by an officer from the Pentagon, so you can't come at me to question its authenticity. The clip shows a military pilot flying in the sky when he spotted a white spherical object moving extraordinarily fast for a human aircraft. The pilot claims that the object then dived straight into the ocean in a millisecond and vanished. Even the Pentagon officer looked stumped after seeing the video. He claims that no one in the agency could figure out the mystery object. Naturally, that called for a lot of theories to blow up on the internet.
A lot of UAP sightings come from aircraft. So there are some who believe that this alien technology is surveilling humans and is targeting aircraft as a means to explore and study the technology here on Earth.
Experts claim that it couldn't possibly be an aircraft. It doesn't have any wings or rotary blades. They called it more of a balloon floating in the sky. But do you know any balloon around you to be moving with hypersonic speed? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, a lot of people are arguing that it might be some form of unidentified military aircraft. But is the intelligence agency really that dumb to put up their top secret projects on the internet for everyone to see? Got you thinking there, didn't I? Well, If it isn't a military project or an aircraft or even a balloon, then what is it? Number 22. In Vietnam. This is the military officer who claims he saw aliens during war. The man was out in Vietnam with his troops scouring the forest. Suddenly, he stumbled upon 4 gray beings, about 4 feet tall, hiding in the shrubs. One extraterrestrial being knew the officer's name, called him out, and said that he wasn't supposed to be there. The officer got so scared that he pulled out his M16 and started shooting at the being in automatic mode. He sent a signal to his gang, and they all started shooting chaotically at these 4 beings. But here is the crazy part. The bullets left no effect on the aliens. The poor military officers ran out of there and never looked back. What do you think? Could they really have seen aliens in that forest? All the secrets. Full hearing. The UAP hearing happened after nearly 50 years. But here's the thing. Not a lot of people wanted this to happen. The committee said out loud that they got a lot of backlash for even getting these things into the court. It is not new that the Pentagon and the military have always been a bit secretive when it comes to their extraterrestrial beings. What do you think they were trying to hide? And with the hearing, do you think there are still things that haven't been released to the public? I will let you decide. Number 20. In the Middle East. For all the people who think the UFOs are only in the United States, this one is for them. The clip shows an active military zone. Everything seems normal, doesn't it? But if you look closely, you can spot a mysterious round object flying across the sky at an incredible speed. The video was shown in court, and the officers claimed that they had no idea what it was. Any theories? Number 19. Zero doubt. This man was being interviewed in front of 1,000 people, and you know what he chose to say? The fact that there is zero doubt that aliens exist. This is Colonel Carl Nell, a senior military officer, admitting that there are extraterrestrial beings all around us. He claimed that non-human intelligence has been interacting with humans for years now, and that they will continue to do that for a long, long time. But then he said something that almost made me believe in aliens too. He asked the cynics to look at where these leaks were coming from. Check out the source. All the people spilling the beans on alien intelligence are people with high authority and access to top-secret operations. Could all of them be lying? They are all saying the same thing. Aliens do exist. And that was enough to get me thinking. What about you? Is he playing with words or actually telling the truth? Number 18. Alien technology. Now this guy had something pretty juicy to share with the public. You know how we all are wondering if the government has any hold of alien technology. Well, this guy just came in and confirmed that it is all true. He claims that there are a lot of military officers who have seen many strange and unexplainable things in the sky, but they were always silenced. So the man got to digging and found some interesting tapes hiding in the Pentagon. This tape shows a shape-shifting object in the sky that looks a lot like a tic-tac. The object was doing things that are beyond the scope of aviation technology and human. Then there is this video that is even more crazy than the first one. The object seems to be rotating and moving at wildly insane speeds. Chris Mellon is convinced that the government has a lot more hiding in the Pentagon than just these tapes. And then he said something that left me thinking too. He claims that these are military officers who are seeing these bizarre things in the sky. They are trained to see the unknown, yet even they were scared to find the UFOs. So why doesn't the government come clean to the public and investigate properly? He isn't wrong, but what I am thinking is, do the aliens make it their goal to spy on the military? Do they keep a check on them? What do you think? Number 17. The threat of UFOs. Believe it or not, this guy thinks that the UFOs are a threat. He was a witness to a UFO sighting and told all about it in the UAP hearing. He told the committee about how the UFO looked nothing like the technology on Earth. It was far beyond the material science that humans currently possess. After witnessing that, he went on to say something pretty troubling. He claimed that these UFOs could be a threat to humans. Do you think that's possible? Number 16. Alien bodies. The statements from this whistleblower will leave you astounded. Trust me, David Grush was a high-ranking military officer in the government. One day, he was allowed to look into the dark details of what was running inside the government in secret. Apparently, the government retrieves and studies the UFOs that have crashed on Earth. Then, They reverse engineer them to try and make replicas of these fast-moving UFOs. He went on to say that there are only a number of people who know about this secret operation, and many officers are actively working to keep it that way. Yet it was not the most shocking thing I heard from his mouth. The man then claimed that the government has a hold of actual aliens that were recovered from the UFOs. Well, he didn't say aliens, but he said that the biological remains are of non-human origin and are widely believed to be extraterrestrial. They were recovered from a crashed UFO, and the whistleblower thinks that it might be an extraterrestrial pilot. Whether he is lying or telling the truth is up for debate, but he definitely got me hooked. What about you? Number 15. The Black Operations. This man claimed something that I didn't have a hard time believing. He said that there is a whole other government working in secret that the public doesn't even know about. This secret government has its own military and its own funding, and they are well above the law. He thinks that they are trying to hunt and talk with the alien. He then went on to say that he was given millions of dollars to stay mum on the topic, yet he chose to come out and spill the bean. Do you believe him? Number 14. The high-resolution videos. Haven't you often wondered why we are always stuck with these low-quality images and videos of the UFOs? I know I have, and it is exactly what made me question the aliens too. Well, this guy came along and changed my mind about it. He claims that the government has hundreds and thousands of images and videos of UFOs zipping across the sky, and not the blurry and fuzzy one. No, good graphics with amazing quality of actual shape-shifting UFOs that will leave your mouth wide open in shock. The man then went on to say that he believes that there is a secret government program on aliens too that only a few people know about. They collect crashed UFOs and study them without anyone knowing anything. Does that mean that the government has hold of alien technology? From what this guy is saying, I am thinking yes. What do you make of his statement? Number 13. The shutdown. Meet the guy who fought for the UAP hearing to happen. He claims that there were a lot of secrets in the Pentagon that needed to get out, so he and other people pushed to make it all public. That's when the backlash from the government came, asking them to shut it all down. Well, here we are years later, and there's no hope of seeing another UAP hearing in a long time. Do you think we could have found out something even more sinister in the next couple of UFO hearings? These were only leaks from the Pentagon, but there are other people in the government who are busy talking about aliens too. Number 12. The Galactic Federation. Just when I thought that I'd heard everything insane going on in the government, I stumbled upon this guy's bizarre statement. He is a hacker who is on the Interpol Red List for messing with the US government. He claims that he dug a little too deep into the Pentagon office and found a secret file on extraterrestrials. In the file were hundreds of names of officers and ships, and none of them were from Earth. The man is on an arrest warrant. Would he really risk his life to lie about this? Plus, he isn't the only one to talk of a secret agreement between aliens and humans. A high-ranking official from the Canadian government said the same thing. There is a secret federation of aliens, and the world leaders know all about it. Do you believe them? Number 11. The secret element. Bob Lazar is probably the most controversial guy I know in the whole UFO drama. He popped up in the 1980s and claimed that he worked in a secret government facility that you can call Area 51's twin. He went on to say that the government has a hold of several UFOs, and the facility is working to reverse engineer these spacecraft. But it wasn't as astonishing as the next thing he said. He told the world that the UFOs were powered by an element called the element 115. This powerful energy source was the reason that UFOs could defy gravity and move at insane speeds. Nobody ever really saw the element until a Russian team created it. But this element acted far different from what Lazar said about the element 115. What do you make of this? Honestly, if he is lying, it is a pretty good performance put up by Lazar. Number 10. Secret Space Program. This guy made such wild claims that even the UFO believers were left stumped. Nobody saw it coming. John Lear is a commercial airline pilot, but he is better known for his strong belief in UFOs and aliens. The man claims that there is a secret space program running in the dark that even some lawmakers don't know about. This secret program is not just restricted to the US government. Governments of other countries are in on it too. These secret programs are funded by something called the black budget, and it is far from the reach of elected candidates. If that's crazy, hear this. He went on to say that there are secret extraterrestrial bases on the moon, and humans often go there to work on interstellar travel. Whether you believe him or not, it is up to you. But he only came to warn us about alien and their dark nature. What do you think? Number 9. Barack Obama. This man was the president of the country once, having access to almost all of the secrets about aliens. Are you curious to know what he said about aliens? He claimed up front that he could not speak about aliens on the air. The public laughed about it, but you can sense it on the ex-president's face that he wasn't trying to be funny. Obama didn't stop there though. Instead, he started rambling as if he was lying. He went on to admit that there are objects around us and in the skies that remain unexplained. He was clearly talking about UFOs and how they are beyond human understanding. What do you think? Was he joking? Or did the truth actually come out of his mouth? Number 8. The Black Pyramid. I was busy being stumped by the pyramids of Egypt, but then came along a black pyramid that's 10 times more puzzling. Apparently, there is a black pyramid in Alaska hidden underground that's of extraterrestrial origins. The man was shut away from the operation that worked on finding the truth behind the Black Pyramid, but he is convinced that it exists and was left behind by aliens. I have read a lot on the Black Pyramid, and I don't think he is lying. But what's hiding inside the pyramid is a different story. Any guesses? Number 7. Donald Trump. Here's the president himself. In an interview from his first term, he was asked about Roswell, and all he could say was that it was an interesting place. What does that even mean? Honestly, I can't come up with anything to go against the alien theory after hearing this statement. Also, did you spot that smirk on his face? He is definitely hiding something. Don't you agree? Number 6. Kamala Harris. Here's someone from the government being directly asked about UFOs. And what does the woman decide to say? She said that she wasn't giving away anything to the interviewer. I mean, I don't know about you, but this is extremely shady. What could she possibly know? Number 5. The whole world is in on it. Here's someone who talked of extraterrestrial encounters with other countries. Honestly, I am all for it. For years, I thought that the alien theories only came out of the United States. This was the reason that I thought of it as a conspiracy. But that's until I heard from this woman. She claims that almost every country has had alien visitors, and many of the world leaders are not as hesitant to meet them as the leaders of the United States. What have these leaders talked about with aliens? Why isn't the US as willing to meet extraterrestrial beings as other leaders? Can you think of any reason? Number 4. George Bush. Here's yet another president whose guilty expressions left me riddled with curiosity. The ex-president was asked if he looked through the UFO files when he was in the government. First, he managed to dodge his way out of the question, but when the interviewer pressed to get a few details out of him, he simply admitted that he couldn't tell anyone anything. Isn't that a bit suspicious to you? Do you think he has seen something before? It is the fear on his face that has left me with a lot more questions than answers. Number 3. The underwater alien bases. The ocean is so deep and mysterious that we have no idea what's hiding underneath it. But this man gave a hint as to what could be down there. He claimed that he talked to an admiral and he didn't shy away from spilling the beans. Apparently, the admiral was convinced that there were UFOs down in the water. He said that the sonar often picks up on UFOs flying from the sky and heading down into the water. And the strange bit is that the government has spent tens of millions of dollars trying to hunt them down. Sadly, they have had no luck. All that they have found is a structure that's larger than a football field popping up on the sonar. The man believes that it is an underwater alien base. Do you believe him? Number 2. The egg-shaped UFO. This man is an Air Force veteran, but it is what he said that left me scratching my head. He claimed that he was part of the team that worked on UFO retrievals. One day, he saw a giant egg about 150 feet away from him. The weird part was that it did not have an engine and looked utterly ridiculous for an aircraft. Not to mention, It seemed to defy all logic known to a human being. The man is convinced that whatever it was, it did not come from this world. Do you believe him? Number 1. Meeting with the aliens. I'll be honest, this one is more of a conspiracy theory, but it is the best explanation people have for what happened. Apparently, the president of the US in 1954 disappeared in the middle of the night one fine evening. People around him are supposed to know where the president is at all time, yet the press punched a statement claiming that he died. A few minutes later, the statement was retracted. With all the drama that happened, there was no explaining this bizarre news. The president was seen the next day in church. What made the press release this statement? People claim that he met with the aliens who demanded that the country give up its nuclear weapons. Is that just a theory or the truth? That's all, folks. What do you think about all of these statements? Do you think these officials from the government are lying? Here's what I think. These people were gutsy enough to come forward and tell the truth about these secret programs. You saw the faces of the presidents, right? They knew something but refused to talk about it. If there is really nothing to hide, what's with all the secrecy? Don't you agree? If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and hit subscribe. We have a lot more fun content planned for you, so press the bell icon to stay updated on all future uploads. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.